And how much did they cost? $1,400? You know.
We about to see if we can recognize some killers' voices today. All the killer monsters. Michael Myers, Chucky, Jason, all them niggas. Michael Myers don't talk, so I don't think that nigga gonna be on here. But you get what I mean.
That's what we are going to find out in this fun Guess the Voice challenge. Let's get started. Listen closely.
People always make fun because of the way I look.
It for sure. It.
Thought if you couldn't see my face.
Who was it? Yeah, that was Pennywise talking.
People always make fun because of the way I look.
Guess the voice.
Women can't
Chucky!
live with them, period.
Recognize the voice? That was the voice of Chucky.
Can't live with them, period.
That nigga Chucky with the smoke. Crazy as hell.
In the past, you have all put your own interests above others.
Jigsaw.
And then lied to you.
Who was it? That's right, it's Jigsaw.
In the past, you have all put your own interests above others.
Would you rather be trapped in Pennywise's house or be trapped in one of Jigsaw's twisted games?
Good ass question. Jigsaw, this nigga put you in all types of traps. Pennywise, that nigga play with you too damn much. That nigga play too fucking much. Damn, I don't know. Put me in Pennywise house. I'm getting down with Pennywise. I don't give a fuck. Jigsaw be on some bullshit. He do too much.
Listen closely.
You are brave. Maxine, much braver than your brother.
Stranger Things, dude. The Stranger Thing monster.
Oh, who was it? It's Vecna from Stranger Things.
You are brave. Maxine, much braver than you.
I rode in here, someone was watching me. I could have called out or fired a shot to
Resident Evil, let's do it.
warn me about the trap, but they didn't.
I don't know her name, so I'm saying
That
movie.
there was Alice from Resident Evil.
Alice.
I rode in here, someone was watching me. I could have called out or fired a shot to warn me.
Resident Evil
What
go hard.
weapon does Jason Voorhees normally use?
B. All types.
That's correct. He normally has a machete.
That nigga don't be playing with that bitch.
Why do you keep asking me that? I already told you. I'm here. Come on.
Wait. Hold on. Fuck.
The correct answer is Ghostface.
That's Ghost, bro.
Find me, and then we'll go and cut up the carpenter system.
Do you feel like an animal?
And I can barely remember anything, but now the thought of a cigarette makes me want to throw up. Like I was in a hole or something.
That black dude, for sure. Get out.
It's Chris Washington from Get Out.
And I can barely remember anything, but now the thought of a cigarette makes me want to throw up. Like I was in a hole.
Katie, you should use a coaster. Coasters help to avoid watermarks, especially on wooden surfaces. That's a great...
That little
Recognize
android
that
lady,
voice?
Little android lady, little thing, whatever.
Yeah, it's the voice of Megan.
Katie, you should use a coaster. Coasters help to avoid watermarks, especially on wooden
This movie good, chat? Y'all let me know. Why you see this shit?
surfaces.
Would you rather have a doll like Chucky or have an AI friend like Megan?
Put me with Chuck. rocking with Chucky on top.
Comment your
Chucky gonna have you on all types of missions. All kind of shit.
choice. Listen closely.
You think you can turn back time? Do you think you can bring the dead back to life? Why are you screaming?
Black phone. Black phone.
That's Freddy Krueger's voice.
What?
You think you can turn back time? Do you think you can bring the dead back to life?
Hey, chat, I ain't gonna dub. I don't count this Freddy Krueger as Freddy Krueger. He fucked the whole Freddy Krueger franchise up to me. Y'all let me know if y'all agree with that shit, cause they could have did Freddy Krueger a lot better, for real, for real. That's why they ain't came out with no shit yet. They need to do something better, for real. Fucking up a good villain.
Please, come in. Close the door. Marvelous attire. Very colorful. You look like...
Guess the voice.
Oh, the vampire nigga right there.
It's Dracula from the movie Renfield.
Please, come in. Close the door.
You ever seen Renfield, chat? That shit kinda cool. It's like an action. Ain't no horror movie or nothing. It's like an action horror movie. Like, the nigga got powers and shit. He turn up, he beating everybody ass and shit. Yeah, look at it. It's a cool little action horror.
Have you ever had a single moment's thought about my responsibilities? Have you ever thought...
I'm going with Black Phone. I gotta go with Black Phone.
Correct answer is Jack Torrance.
Moment's thought about my responsibilities. Have you ever thought for a single solitary...
Guess which character this is by the shadow.
The real Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, it's Freddy Krueger.
There he is. Just by this nigga scream. It's Black Phone. I'm going with Black Phone, bro.
It's Lee Abbott from A Quiet Place.
I know you're scared, but I'm not gonna hurt you anymore. I'm gonna go see who it is. Then...
That's Black Phone. That's Black
It's the Grabber from Black Phone.
I know you're scared, but I'm not gonna hurt you anymore.
Who is this?
You mean, how did I get into your house? You have no security system, Karen. Your side window is wide open.
Michael Myers.
It's Laurie Strode from Halloween.
You mean, how did I get into your house? You have no security system, Karen. Your side window...
Michael Myers about to have.
Would you rather be stuck in the woods with the Blair Witch or stranded at sea with Jaws?
Put me with Jaws. Put me with Jaws. I seen the Blair Witch shit. You ain't about to have me walking in circles all day, every day, nigga, until I find a fucking house. Then I can't look at the bitch and try to kill her? No. That's gonna be one heart. I can see Jaws, though. As long as I can see that motherfucker, it's up. We can get down.
Listen closely.
One of the birds with...
Then again, nigga gotta go swimming and shit, so that's some scary shit. Something you gotta be in the water with. I don't know.
You okay? I'm gonna cover you up, but do not make a sound and do not leave this boat. Do you understand me? Do not leave this boat.
What's that, Bird Box shit? Bird Box?
That was Mallory from Bird Box.
I'm gonna cover you up, but do not make a sound and do not leave this boat. Do you understand me? Do not leave this boat.
Just about to myself. You know, nothing special, just sandwiches and milk, but I'd like it very much if you'd come up to the house.
That's that old school black and white looking crazy motherfucker.
Yeah, it's Norman Bates.
You know, nothing special, just sandwiches and milk, but I'd like it very much if you'd come up to the house.
This is old school, the base motel. Do your fucking homework. Nigga gotta watch that to see if they was accurate with the knowing.
We have to provide food and shelter for the homeless and oppose racial discrimination.
It's Patrick Bateman from American Psycho.
We have to provide food and shelter for the homeless and oppose racial.
So how many did you get correct? Share your results in the comment section below and give me a thumbs up if you had fun. Thank you so much.
That's crazy as fuck. Yeah, ain't no way you was gonna do Michael Myers. Nigga don't speak. That don't make sense. That wouldn't have made sense.
Welcome to Quiz Madness. How well do you know horror movies? I'm going to put that to the test by showing you a quick clip and seeing if you can guess the horror movie based on the scene. This will be fun, so let's get started.
Chat, I'm going for 100%, chat. I'm going for 100%. Let's see if I get that shit. If I miss one, it's okay. Just one. I give myself a one pass. Let's try it. Child's Play. Child's Play off tops. Right there. That's Chucky.
Which horror movie was that? Correct. It's Child's Play.
You'll float too. You'll float too. You'll float too.
Guess the movie.
It.
Yes, it's It.
Like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Recognize that movie? The answer is Scream. Oh, what's your guess?
Michael Myers, man.
That's right. It was Halloween. Do you know this one?
Hey, Chad, this that one I get wrong.
It's Annabelle.
I never seen that motherfucker. I still gotta see that bitch. So.
Guess the movie.
Saw.
Correct answer is Saw.
Let the countdown begin.
Which movie was it?
Just seen this shit. What's this shit called, Jack?
That was Ready or Not.
I don't know. I didn't remember the name, but this movie good as fuck though. This bitch turned the fuck up. This bitch turned up on this movie for sure. It's a good movie, not a horror movie, but it's a good little thriller.
Guess this movie.
What the fuck?
Yeah, correct. It's Megan.
I already said I ain't seen that one, so she get a pass. Resident Evil.
The answer is Resident Evil. What movie is it?
The real Freddy Krueger?
It's A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Are those black balloons in there?
Yeah.
Guess it. It's The Black Phone.
That movie crazy as fuck.
Recognize this one? This is The Purge.
The Purge is not a horror movie, bro. I mean, it is.
Oh my god, it's beautiful. One spider, and I'm...
What's your guess?
Hey, Chad, I don't remember the name, but I can describe it. She's the virgin. She's the virgin in the middle. She the virgin in the middle. And they supposed to kill everybody. Night before dawn or some shit like that. Dawn before night or some shit.
Yeah, it's the cabin in the woods. Which movie? It's Paranormal Activity. Guess the movie.
Texas Chainsaw.
Yep, the Chainsaw Massacre. Oh, The correct answer is Children of the Corn.
Little crazy motherfuckers.
Which horror movie is
It's
it?
A Quiet Place.
That's right. It's A Quiet Place.
Oh, that's when they go. The mirror people come out. The fuck is that shit?
The correct answer is Us. Do you know this one?
I'm telling you, I ought to be scrapping with jaws just like that. Fuck all that, nigga. You ain't gonna put me in the spot with the old boy. Fuck no.
Yeah, that was Jaws.
What is it?
The Exorcist.
Guess this one. It's The Exorcist. What movie is it? That's correct. The Ring.
Get out. Get out. That nigga should have got out for sure.
This one is called Get Out. The correct answer is The Conjuring. Have you seen this one? It's called The Boogeyman.
Hell no, I ain't seen that shit.
Guess the movie.
That look like some stranger shit.
It's Happy Death Day.
I gotta see that.
Guess it.
It's looking like Freddy Krueger.
The answer here is Poltergeist.
What the fuck?
Oh,
That nigga was doing some crazy
It's Winnie the
shit.
Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Y'all niggas gotta go see Piglet up in that motherfucker. Is all the motherfuckers is in there besides I think one, because I can't tell you what happened, but go check that shit out.
Guess the movie.
God, Devil's Rejects. Let's go.
That's right, The Devil's Rejects. Do you know this one? This is called The Grudge.
That shit weird.
You just moved into the basement.
Here's a tricky one.
Amityville Horror.
It's the Amityville Horror. Did you get it?
Yes. Yes, man.
I have no idea.
Blair Witch Project. I never want to be in them woods. Fuck no.
Correct answer is the Blair Witch Project.
Lights Out.
Recognize this movie?
Lights Out. I want to go Lights Out.
It's called Lights Out. Yeah, it's Smile. Thumbs up if you guessed that.
Is it telling me what to do? Screw you. Truth.
Smile too.
Guess the movie. It's Truth or Dare.
I don't think I've seen that.
Some call me the Dark One.
Now, what's your guess?
Not a horror movie though, but it's good.
Correct answer is Renfield. How many horror movies did you guess right? Share your results in the comment section below.
I missed like 5, chat. I missed like 5. 5 of them bitches. God damn it. Thought I was gonna get my... Alright, chat. Pinhead is with the smoke. Just don't think cause he all fucking peeled up and he got needles in his fucking head, he's not gonna do shit. That nigga's with the shits. He might be more with the shits than Freddy Krueger. I don't know. This nigga's really from hell though. So we gotta see.
Well, what do we have here? A goth priest convention?
Frederick Krueger, I am not here to amuse you, fleshling. I am here because your chaos bleeds beyond your boundaries.
Boundaries? Oh, I love boundaries. They make such a mess when you break them.
You twist fear into a child's game. You mock suffering. I, on the other hand, perfect it. You are a murderer, defiler of innocence, architect of hollow nightmares. You masquerade as a god within dreams, yet all you've ever created is chaos without purpose. You do not understand suffering. You only run from it. Allow me to teach you what true agony means.
Nice sermon, Father Needles, but guess what? The collection plate's empty, and you're in my church now. Welcome to my nightmare.
Pinhead gotta be asleep. Freddy Krueger's visiting this nigga in his sleep. Alright, let's get it.
In the dark corners of horror cinema, few names strike fear quite like Freddy Krueger and Pinhead. One is a burned, wisecracking killer who stalks your dreams. The other is a cold, articulate priest of pain from another dimension. Both feed on human suffering, both are masters of manipulation, and both transcend the limits of death itself. But what if these two icons ever crossed paths? What if the dream demon of Elm Street found himself face to face with the high priest of hell? Tonight we dive deep into a nightmare beyond nightmares. Freddy Krueger versus Pinhead. Two beings who redefine terror in their own realms. If they ever met, who would win? On one side is Freddy Krueger, standing around 5 feet 10 inches and weighing roughly 174 3/4 pounds, though his physical traits can shift depending on the dream. Armed with his iconic razor-bladed glove, Freddy dominates the dream world, where he can warp reality, shapeshift, and regenerate. His power thrives on fear, but he has one major weakness. If pulled into the real world, he becomes mortal and can be physically harmed or killed. On the other side is Pinhead, a towering 6 feet 5 inches figure with a lean soldier-like build. As the Hell Priest of Leviathan, he wields immense supernatural power, commanding chains, opening dimensional portals, and manipulating reality with cold precision. Though bound by certain rules, such as requiring the Lament configuration to summon him, Pinhead is essentially immortal and far harder to defeat, making him one of horror's most formidable forces. In this video, we will analyze both.
I agree with that, chat. This nigga Pinhead is on some... All you gotta do is open the box, nigga. As soon as you open the box, it's up. You gotta replay the game. You gotta get that fucking cube and start doing some more shit with the cube. Figure it out and then fucking put him... And then hit the button and then put his ass back in the box. But that nigga ain't gonna make it easy.
Both characters' unique strengths and abilities before pitting them against each other in a hypothetical battle. Stay tuned to find out who would win. We regularly post videos like this one, pitting iconic movie characters against each other to determine who would win. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of these epic showdowns. Before he became a supernatural force of horror, Freddy Krueger was just a man, and a monstrous one at that. The Springwood Slasher, a child murderer who terrorized the town of Springwood, Ohio, Freddy was finally caught and burned alive by the vengeful parents of his victims. But death didn't stop him. In the afterlife, Freddy was granted power by dark dream demons, ancient entities that fed on fear. Reborn in fire and hate, Krueger returned as a force that could invade the dreams of the living, tormenting his victims in their most vulnerable state, while they slept. Freddy's domain is the dream world, a realm shaped entirely by thought, fear, and imagination. Within it, he's not just a killer, he's a god. He can warp reality, turn nightmares into weapons, and manipulate the dreamer's environment with a thought. He's been everything.
He got one of the best abilities out of all the killers. Freddy Krueger, he got one of the best abilities. He going in your fucking dream, nigga. And if you staying up too long, you put yourself in a coma and you're stuck with that nigga. You're sick. You're sick.
Thing from a giant serpent to a TV monster to a demonic puppet master. Pain, fear, and imagination fuel his strength. The more his victims believe in him, the more powerful he becomes. But there's a catch. Freddy's power depends on his victims being asleep and afraid. When brought into the real world, he's far less formidable. The claws are still sharp, but he bleeds, he tires, and he can be hurt. Even so, Freddy's not to be underestimated. He's cunning, manipulative, and endlessly creative. He doesn't just kill, he toys with his victims, forcing them to face their worst fears before delivering the final blow. To Freddy, killing is performance art. It's entertainment, and his audience, the screaming souls he traps in his dream domain. Then there's Pinhead, or as he was once known, Elliot Spencer.
My name was Spencer, Elliot Spencer.
A World War I captain shattered by the horrors of war, Spencer sought sensations beyond human experience. That search led him to a strange puzzle box known as the Lament configuration. When solved, it opened a gateway to another dimension, the Labyrinth, ruled by a massive entity called Leviathan. From that moment, Spencer ceased to be human. He became the Hell Priest, the leader of the Cenobites, explorers in the further regions of experience, angels to some, demons to others. Pinhead's world isn't built on fear, it's built on order. He sees pleasure and pain as two sides of the same coin. To him, human morality is meaningless. He is calm, methodical, and terrifyingly patient. Where Freddy mocks his victims, Pinhead lectures them. Where Freddy's kills are chaotic, Pinhead's are ritualistic, precise, inevitable, divine in their cruelty. His weapons are chains tipped with hooks that can tear flesh, restrain souls, or even reshape reality itself. With a single command, he can summon his Cenobite brethren or open...
Never want them chains to hit me ever, like pulling my shit. Like, fuck no, nigga, that shit hurt. And then them people, like the person behind her, she had to go through what that dude with them chains on his face is going through. But then she joined this nigga. That bitch is host, like, she got fucked up.
And dimensional rifts that swallow his victims whole. Pinhead is bound by cosmic law. He doesn't hunt at random. He appears when some...
Bro, that nigga's not playing, bro. I won't want to fuck with that nigga. This bitch got fucking... Her whole head split open and it's stuck to her shoulders. So she got a shrug like this all damn day. Like, what the fuck? And these niggas got...
summoned. When someone opens the lament configuration and invites the Cenobites to claim them, once summoned, there is no escape. He is immortal, unflinching, and beyond the limits of pain or fear. Even when banished, he always returns. To destroy Pinhead, one must destroy the order that binds the labyrinth itself.
They kind of just get an answer right here. Right here, they just get an answer. They said a nigga that like pain and a nigga that like to give pain. So, nigga, you can give all the pain you want to, nigga. You gonna fuck with it at the end of the day. You just get this nigga new ideas.
And that's no small task. Freddy and Pinhead occupy entirely different planes of existence. Freddy's power lies in dreams, in the subconscious fears of humanity. Pinhead's power lies in the fabric of reality itself, in the dark geometry of suffering and desire. Freddy thrives on chaos. Pinhead enforces order through torment. Freddy's victims are children of fear. Pinheads are seekers of forbidden knowledge. They represent two sides of the same infernal coin, but their methods couldn't be more different. If Freddy ever encountered the lament configuration, he'd almost certainly see it as a new toy, a challenge. Perhaps he manipulates a dreamer into opening it while they sleep, unaware of what they've unleashed. As the box clicks open, chains tear through the air, and from the void steps Pinhead and his entourage.
Your trespass echoes through the labyrinth, dream demon. You meddle with forces governed by law, not whim. You stand before judgment, and judgment is inevitable.
But Freddy isn't a mortal soul to be claimed. He's already damned, and he knows it. The Hell Priest would find something unique in Freddy's essence. Not a human to punish, but a force that challenges the very balance of his realm. In turn, Freddy would see Pinhead as just another plaything, a self-righteous freak to mock and torment. He might twist Pinhead's memories, morphing into Elliot Spencer's comrades from the war, forcing him to relive his trauma. In most cases, that kind of psychological warfare would be devastating. But Pinhead isn't like Freddy's usual prey. He's beyond fear, beyond guilt, beyond humanity. To torment Pinhead is to poke at the void, and the void bites back. Inside the dream world, Freddy would have the early advantage. His imagination knows no limits there. He could turn Pinhead's chains into serpents, warp the labyrinth into a carnival of horrors, or reshape himself into Elliot's own reflection. He might toy with the Cenobite, making him watch visions of 1,000 burning sinners, illusions meant to weaken his focus. Freddy feeds off chaos, and in the dream world, chaos is king. But
Freddy would do some shit like that too. He would do some shit, especially in the dream world. He would do some, I agree with everything this nigga's saying.
Pinhead's power is not born of imagination, it's born of cosmic authority. He represents an order older than dreams themselves. Within moments, the dream begins to twist, not under Freddy's control, but under Leviathan's. The geometry of the dream reshapes into the endless corridors of the labyrinth. Freddy feels it, his reality slipping from his grasp as the dream becomes something else. The air grows thick, metallic. The sound of chains echoes through the dark. Freddy slashes the air, summoning fire, shadows, illusions. But Pinhead doesn't flinch. The chains pierce through Freddy's chest, binding his arms. The dream god laughs, tearing free, only to find the chains have multiplied. Hooks tear at his skin, and the pain, real pain, forces him to remember something he's forgotten. He can bleed. Freddy is strong, but he's not infinite. And Pinhead? He is infinity in its cruelest form.
Here's a fun one. Guys, pretend like you're holding up the building behind you. Make sure. Yeah. That's
okay,
great.
Now give her phone back.
How do y'all know each other?
He's in a dream now. Remember? He's in a dream. So all this pain shit, unless he pulled that nigga out, unless he making this nigga feel pain. But he's in a dream. So right now that's kinda cat.
And now we will imagine a hypothetical battle between Freddy Krueger and Pinhead. Then we will explain who would be the most likely to win this fight, and why. Make sure to stick around till the end so you find out who would come out on top. Imagine it, a fog-choked city street, half dream, half hellscape. The lights flicker as if caught between two realities. Freddy steps out of the darkness, claws gleaming, smirk wide. The air hums, and suddenly the pavement cracks. Pinhead emerges from the mist.
Well, what do we have here? A goth priest convention?
Frederick Krueger, pain is the pathway to inevitable judgment, and you have been knocking for a very long time.
Let me clue you in on something, Pincushion. I don't knock. I kick the damn door in. And guess what? You're in my nightmare now.
Suddenly Freddy lunges, his claws slashing. But Pinhead vanishes, reappearing behind him. Chains fly, slicing through the air. Freddy catches one, snapping it apart with a burst of dream energy, but three more strike him from behind. His laughter falters. He morphs into a monstrous version of Pinhead, covered in needles, mocking him.
Look, I'm you now. You like it kinky, don't you?
But Pinhead simply raises a hand, and the illusion collapses. Freddy screams as the metal spikes turn inward, driving into his own skull. Desperate, Freddy tries to shift the environment. The fog gives way to Elm Street. The boiler room flickers to life, his temple, his throne. Flames roar as he cackles.
Welcome to my world.
But Pinhead only tilts his head, unimpressed. The flames dim. The walls begin to twist into black stone corridors, and the boiler morphs into the endless maze of Leviathan's labyrinth. Freddy stumbles as his dream realm collapses.
No one escapes the labyrinth, not even the dreamers.
Freddy lunges one last time, claws raised high, but chains wrap around his arms, legs, neck. The hooks pull in every direction. Freddy laughs through the pain.
You think you can stop me? I'm eternal!
Pinhead's eyes glow with cold light.
So am I.
The chains tighten. Freddy's body is torn apart, his laughter echoing into silence. The dream fades, leaving only the faint hum of Leviathan in the dark. So why would Pinhead win this fight? Freddy Krueger may be the undisputed ruler of nightmares, but Pinhead operates on a completely different scale. Freddy's power is psychological, dependent on the fears and beliefs of his victims. Pinhead's power is metaphysical, derived from an ancient cosmic order that transcends human thought. Freddy's victims have to believe in him. Pinhead doesn't need believers. He is belief, the embodiment of eternal law, bound to a godlike dimension where pain and pleasure are one. Freddy's arrogance would be his downfall. His tactics, mockery, illusions, and fear simply wouldn't work on someone like Pinhead. The Hell Priest has no fear to exploit, no shame to uncover. Freddy's attempts at manipulation would fall flat against Pinhead's absolute composure. Even Freddy's dream realm couldn't protect him forever, because Pinhead's consciousness isn't human. It exists beyond the boundaries of mind and matter. If Freddy tried to trap him in a dream, he'd only be giving the Cenobite a new landscape to invade. In every measurable way, Pinhead's power eclipses Freddy's. He commands interdimensional forces, can open portals through reality itself, and answers directly to Leviathan, a being of near godlike control. Truth be told, Freddy never really had a chance in this fight to begin with. Chains, hooks.
He didn't. But at the same time, I don't know. If he catch that nigga in his dream, he might.
Dimensional rifts, and the power of the
That nigga give him a run for his fucking money, I know that.
labyrinth itself give Pinhead an overwhelming advantage. Freddy might laugh, distort his form, or lash out in desperation, but none of it matters. In the end, he's a nightmare fighting a god, and there's no version of that story where Freddy walks away whole. But Pinhead's story doesn't end here. Somewhere in the shadows, another legendary force is stirring, one who may just be powerful enough to challenge the order of the labyrinth itself. And if you want to see that showdown, make sure to subscribe. You never know what iconic characters will pit against each other next.
Chat. I don't know. It started up as a good lineup, but then motherfucker, as soon as you start putting all them powers into it, yeah, nah. You can't fuck with that nigga Hellraiser. Pinhead, you can't fuck with him. It's not possible. I don't know if Pennywise can fuck with him either, to be honest. We're gonna have to say that one for the next one. We're gonna see if Pennywise can fuck with Pinhead. But Jeepers Creepers and Jason don't fly. Jason don't throw shit. He do throw shit. He do got some aim, a little bit of aim on God. But nigga, he's not doing what Jeepers Creepers is doing. Sorry. He regenerates. Jason just doesn't die. I'm trying to think. What y'all think gonna win? I'm going Jeepers Creepers on this one.
In this video, we're diving into one of the most epic matchups in horror history. Jason Voorhees versus the Creeper. Two unstoppable forces born from darkness itself, each with their own brand of supernatural horror.
Go look at Jeepers Creepers in the prison. In the jail. When that nigga don't stop. If you want something, that nigga's gonna get that bitch, bro. He's not playing about it.
On one side, we have Jason Voorhees, the undead juggernaut of Camp Crystal Lake. Standing around 6 feet 5 inches tall and weighing close to 275 pounds, Jason's sheer power is unmatched. With superhuman strength, regenerative durability, and limitless endurance, he's a silent tank of rage that just won't die.
They give him the Jason X form, then I'll go with Jason off tops. Metal Jason is crazy as fuck.
On the other side, we have the Creeper, the ancient predator from Jeepers Creepers. At roughly 6 feet 3 inches tall and weighing between 300 and 350 pounds, this winged nightmare combines monstrous agility with flight, regeneration, enhanced senses, and inhuman intelligence. Every 23 years, he awakens for 23 days to feed. And when he does, nothing escapes his hunt. So what happens when the immortal slasher from Camp Crystal Lake meets the ancient predator? When brute strength clashes with primal cunning, who walks away? In this
Jeepers Creepers, we're only counting 1 and 2. 1 and 2 for Jeepers Creepers. Anything after that is not Jeepers Creepers. We're only counting those two. You only got them 2.
Video, we will analyze both characters' unique strengths and abilities before pitting them against each other in a hypothetical battle. Stay tuned to find out who would win. We regularly post videos like this one, pitting iconic movie characters against each other to determine who would win. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of these epic showdowns. Jason Voorhees is not merely a man, nor just a monster. He is vengeance incarnate. Born from tragedy and drowned in childhood, he was resurrected by rage, loss, and something far more unholy. Once a deformed boy bullied and left to die, Jason returned from the grave as a hulking revenant, fueled by a singular purpose: to punish anyone who dares trespass upon his cursed land. Over the years, Jason has evolved from a backwoods killer into a nearly unstoppable force of nature. He possesses superhuman strength, capable of tearing limbs apart as though they were paper. Bullets, knives, even explosions have done little more than slow him down. He regenerates, reanimates, and rises again. His body a decaying shell that refuses to rest.
Ooh, we got that reggaeton. Today, we're gonna be making beats you guys send me, okay? So let's go.
Chinchi, please do my beat.
Jason's fighting style is brutally straightforward. No finesse, no tactics, just unrelenting brute force. He doesn't tire, doesn't speak, and doesn't hesitate. His machete is an extension of his will, a cold, rusted instrument of punishment.
Sock the shit out of that nigga, Fred.
Against humans, Jason is an inevitable death sentence. But tonight his opponent isn't human. If Jason is the embodiment of vengeance, the Creeper is the embodiment of predation. A creature that defies time and explanation, it awakens every 23 years for 23 days to feed, consuming human organs and using them to regenerate and evolve. No one knows where it came from. Demon, fallen angel, ancient biological weapon, it doesn't matter.
Sound like Hellraiser. Coming from hell, that nigga, bro. What's up?
What matters is what it does. The Creeper is a hunter in the purest sense. It doesn't kill randomly. It stalks, chooses, and savors. It can smell fear, identify weakness, and select victims based on what it wants to take from them. Its regenerative powers are almost limitless, as long as it can feed. Sever a limb, destroy an organ, and it simply consumes a new one to rebuild itself stronger. Unlike Jason, the Creeper is far.
Nigga like Goku. Every time he get beat, nigga, he gets stronger. God damn it, we done got Goku as a monster.
Fast, strategic, and terrifyingly intelligent. It uses tools, weapons, and even vehicles to corner its prey. Its wings grant it the ability to swoop silently through the night, and its claws can rip through steel. It wears a wide-brimmed hat and a tattered coat, like a macabre parody of humanity. A hunter who remembers being human but long ago discarded empathy. Jason dominates through sheer physical power and relentless endurance. He doesn't need to breathe, sleep, or eat. He doesn't flinch when stabbed or shot. His strength is measured in destruction. One swing of his machete can cleave through bone and armor alike. The Creeper, on the other hand, embodies versatility and cunning. He can fight in the air or on the ground. He can see in the dark, regenerate from mortal wounds, and exploit the fear of his enemies. In many ways, the Creeper is a perfect hunter, except for one flaw: his time limit. Once his 23 days are up, he returns to hibernation, no matter what's left unfinished.
You gonna be beating Jason ass for 23 days, niggas, what you mean?
Jason's weakness is his limited intelligence. He's driven by instinct, not strategy. The Creeper, by contrast, can plan, manipulate, and adapt. But Jason's endurance, his refusal to stay dead, means that any battle between the two would be one of attrition, not intellect. And now, we will imagine a hypothetical scenario where these two face each other in a direct battle, before determining which one would most likely win. Make sure to stick around so you find out who the victor is. The Creeper descends through the mist, landing in a clearing in the woods of Camp Crystal Lake, surrounded by pine and fog. The air reeks of decay and stagnant water. He hears something, a faint shuffle, slow but deliberate. From the shadows between the trees, Jason emerges, towering, silent, and armed with his machete. The creeper tilts his head, sniffing the air. What he smells isn't fear, it's death. Old, familiar, ancient. For the first time in centuries, he feels a flicker of curiosity. This creature doesn't breathe, its heart doesn't beat. Yet it stands, watching, waiting. Jason steps forward, metal scrapes across bark as his machete drags beside him. The creeper lets out a guttural hiss, wings spreading wide, the air around them vibrating with menace. Then the creeper lunges. The creeper moves first, darting forward with inhuman speed. His claws rake across Jason's chest, tearing through the fabric of his jacket and the decaying flesh beneath. Jason barely reacts. His machete swings in a wide arc, raw, heavy, unstoppable. The blade catches the creeper across the ribs, sending a spray of dark blood into the air. The creeper snarls, staggering back before his wound begins to close. He circles, studying Jason's movements. The killer is slow but unyielding, every step deliberate. The creeper darts in again, claws flashing. This time he aims for Jason's head, but Jason catches his wrist mid-swipe, their strength locking in a brutal test of power. For a moment it's silent except for the crunch of dead leaves beneath their boots. Then Jason slams his forehead into the creeper's face. The creature reels, stumbling backward, his nose shattered. Jason follows with a machete strike that buries itself deep into the creeper's shoulder.
Jason got them paws, man. He ain't playing, nigga. Jason got them paws, nigga.
The creeper screams, not in pain, but in fury. He grabs Jason's arm and bites down hard, his teeth sinking through flesh and bone. Jason jerks away, unfazed, and drives his knee into the creeper's chest, sending him flying into a tree. The impact cracks the trunk. The creeper collapses, momentarily dazed, before unfolding his wings. He launches into the air, circling above, eyes glowing red. Jason looks up, expressionless, machete dripping
About to start throwing shit
with dark blood. The creeper dives. Jason doesn't move until the last second. Then he turns, swinging upward.
Autodesk Flow Studio. Take your storytelling to the next level. With AI-powered
He dove once, got fucked up. Why would he dive again? Why would he start throwing the shit that he got in his fucking arsenal? That nigga got fucking knives out the ass, belly buttons, and some more shit on it. Like, what the fuck is going on?
The machete connects with the creeper's wing.
Jason won. One Jason.
Tearing through sinew and bone. The monster crashes into the ground, shrieking, one wing half severed. Jason advances, methodical, unstoppable. The creeper charges, talons ready, but Jason catches him mid-swing and drives his machete straight through the creature's chest, pinning him to the tree behind. The creeper thrashes, claws scraping at Jason's mask. Jason tightens his grip on the handle and twists. The blade carves deeper. The creeper roars, his hand shooting up to grab Jason's mask. He rips it off, revealing the ghastly, undead face beneath. For a moment, they lock eyes, one filled with primal hunger, the other with eternal emptiness. The creeper's hand trembles. Something ancient inside him senses it. This thing he's fighting doesn't live, doesn't feel, doesn't fear. Jason is not prey. He's something else entirely, an echo of rage made flesh. The creeper rips free from the tree, retreating into the air, his regeneration already beginning. Jason watches him go, his eyes unblinking. He reaches down, grabs a discarded hatchet from the ground, a remnant.
This is what the fuck. Jeepers Creepers, this is what you should have did, nigga. This is what you should have did. Slow this nigga down somehow, but no, nigga. Damn. My bad, Jason. I would never ever go against you again, my boy.
Of a long-forgotten camper and hurls it skyward. It spins once, twice, then buries itself in the creeper's skull. The creature plummets, wings folding in, crashing through the trees with a sickening thud. Jason walks toward the fallen creature. The creeper's body begins to twitch, black veins crawling across its skin as it tries to heal. Jason lifts his machete one final time and brings it down with bone-splitting force, decapitating the creature. The forest falls silent again. The creeper's head lies several feet away, its mouth still twitching faintly. Jason stands over the body, breathing heavy but calm. He doesn't celebrate. He doesn't feel triumph. He simply turns, retrieves his mask, and walks back toward the lake. Behind him, the creeper's body twitches once more, then goes still. But as the night deepens, something stirs. The creeper's severed head begins to whisper. The eyes flick open, glowing red in the dark. It will heal. It always does.
Round two? Round two?
Jason, however, is gone, disappearing back into the fog, the eternal warden of Crystal Lake. The battle may have ended, but neither monster is truly gone. But on this night, the victor is Jason Voorhees. The creeper is a powerful, intelligent, and terrifying hunter. But Jason Voorhees possesses overwhelming strength, unyielding durability, and a relentless drive that would keep him advancing no matter what the creeper throws his way. While the creeper depends on time, sleep, feeding, and opportunity, Jason does not. He doesn't need to eat, breathe, or rest. Another crucial advantage lies in Jason's complete immunity to
This nigga's unstoppable. Superman. What the fuck?
pain and fear, two things the creeper often exploits when hunting his prey. No matter how terrifying the creeper may appear, Jason cannot be intimidated or deterred. The creeper would undoubtedly land some devastating blows, but Jason, unfazed and unfeeling, would keep coming. In the end, his brute strength and relentless persistence would overwhelm the ancient predator. And when the forest finally falls silent, Jason Voorhees would be the one left standing, machete in hand, waiting for the next intruder foolish enough to step into his woods.
Speed versus strength. That's what it was. Strength won this time. Damn. Jeepers Creepers, you just ass, bro. I thought you had ups or something, bro. Like, I thought you was really with the smoke, but from the shit that I seen. And your ass whooped.
What is going on, guys? Well, it has been a while since I have done a tier list ranking, and I started to get the itch. So I figured, how cool and fun might it be to rank all of the significant horror icons, a bunch of slasher villains that we all know, love, and some of which we hate. And yeah, that sounded like a fun idea to me. So let's check this out. I've got 6 tiers going here, and from worst to best, we have the rejects, we have the slash and a miss, memorable enough, bloody good, killer, and the coveted iconic. In the video description below, I am going to be including a link to this tier list so that you guys can do your
Let's see if you know what he doing, chat. Let's see if you know what he doing.
own. Please tag me on Instagram or Twitter, X, whatever social media you guys want to share it on, to let me know that you've done it so I can see your list. If you guys end up doing a video on YouTube, please tag me on that as well. And let's try to have some fun with this one. And one of the key ways to do that is to keep in mind that this is just my opinion. These are my preferences. These are the horror icons that I love, kind of like, and don't like whatsoever. I'm going to try to be subjective while also being objective at the same time, if that's even possible. Some of these I'm going to keep in account the fact that they are iconic, the fact that they do have a legacy, but I'm not going to mince words if their movies or the executions of these characters are terrible. But really quick before we dive into this tier list ranking, if you're like me and spend a lot of time doing lists like these and making videos like these, and you don't have so much time anymore to be cooking fresh, awesome meals for yourself or your family, then check out the sponsor of today's video, HelloFresh. Well, as the summer comes to a close and fall right around the corner, us parents tend to get wore down with readjusting back to school schedules, buying separate meals, plus free shipping. That's one of them, well, two of them is kind of the secret, the other two not so much. And we have had two different actresses portray this character. So if you guys want to check out my sleepaway camp reviews, I'll put a link up here, but I'm going to stick Angela under Bloody Good. I think she's a really good slasher villain, especially in the original Sleepaway Camp, and I really enjoy Pamela Springsteen's version as well in 2 and 3. In the 4th film, the character might as well be non-existent, and really just the quality of the Sleepaway Camp franchise, I think, holds this character back a little bit. This is one of those horror icons and classic slasher movies that I actually think would benefit greatly from a modern remake, barring the fact that they do not sanitize it, that they do not make it a very modern day watered down version of that movie, which is next to impossible. So it's probably never going to happen.
I ain't gonna die. That bitch's face look creepy as hell.
But Angela, very good character, very creepy, very well done by Felissa Rose and Pamela Springsteen, and she goes in Bloody Good. Coming up next is going to be that lovely doll, Annabelle. And I'm not even going to waste any time. Annabelle goes right into the rejects for me. I have never understood the massive appeal of this character. Memorable enough sequence in the first Conjuring, but I never really thought it was this big standout thing that a lot of people seem to have found it to be when they saw that original film. And it's certainly not enough meat on the bones of this character to have 3 standalone films. The first Annabelle movie is quite often hailed as the worst of the Conjuring franchise. I actually quite like Annabelle Creation, but it's not because of Annabelle. And really the movies, the 2 good ones, are barely about Annabelle as it is. It's about the things that like Annabelle draws in. So I think this character is pretty lame, and I would be heavily annoyed if they announced a 4th Annabelle film.
I mean, yeah, they need to stop doing that. Yeah, I agree. But at the same time, she's based off of, she's like a true dog. I swear, she's based off a true story. That's probably why it's pulling in so many people. It being based off a dog, being based off a true story is going to pull in a lot of people. A lot of people think, since a lot of movies is based off of true stories, they're going to think that's based off a true story.
Jeepers Creepers, where are we putting this creeper? Right, we got Jonathan Brex, the Creeper. Oh yeah, and that other guy that portrayed him in Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Oh, this is gonna hurt my heart, but I'm gonna put the Creeper in Bloody Good. If it was a one and done, if Jeepers Creepers was the only movie that ever came out, that would be an iconic villain for me. Even with the existence of Jeepers Creepers 2, I would probably still be teetering on iconic, maybe even killer, but Jeepers Creepers 3 was horrendous. And if that wasn't bad enough, if we thought that was the floor, Jeepers Creepers Reborn was easily one of the biggest piece of shit movies I have ever seen in my...
This is why I said we will only count 1 and 2 for Jeepers Creepers, ever. 1 and 2. Never 3, 4. Never again. Never again. Unless y'all niggas gotta do something for that nigga. He needs help. Y'all fucked him over twice.
My life. And not only the movie, but the portrayal of the Creeper, the look of the Creeper was just god awful. And so, unfortunately, the legacy of this franchise, as if it wasn't tainted bad enough already by Victor Salva, is pretty much in like sub-zero right now. I would be shocked if they came out with a 5th film, and if they did, I would be extremely, extremely skeptical of how good it's going to be. So unfortunately, the awesome creature design of the Creeper is going to land in Bloody Good. Next up, we have The Nun. And Valak, I'm going to put it in slash and a miss, because I actually think The Nun is arguably the worst film that we have gotten in the Conjuring franchise. We have The Nun 2 coming out in like a month or two, and I am not excited about it at all. I think the trailer looks extremely generic. It looks just like the first Nun, just a bunch of scares, bunch of jump scares, and that's about it. So the only thing that saves Valak the Nun from being a reject is that I think it's genuinely a creepy entity. I think that it's used really well in The Conjuring 2. And despite the fact that I don't like the movie The Nun, it's still a creepy image. It's still something that I could see giving people nightmares and being a Halloween costume that would make people a little nervous passing on the street. So I'm going to give Valak a little bit of a break, and we'll see. Maybe The Nun 2 will surprise me, and we can bump it up to memorable enough. But for now...
You need more blood, some gore. Add a little gore to it. You gonna be in the game. You add some gore to it. More people gotta die for sure. Can't have no horror movies with nobody dying like that.
You just made it. Ooh, we got Pennywise. All right, so we got two different interpretations of this character. You got Tim Curry, you got Bill Skarsgård, both beloved by two very different generations. And I'm going to stick Pennywise in Killer. And I almost stuck him in Bloody Good because the second half of the 1990 miniseries and It Chapter 2, I both think are pretty terrible, and they do the character an extreme disservice. Shockingly enough, I think It Chapter 2 actually does even more of a disservice to the character than the 1990 miniseries. Let's do the CGI spider again, only we'll have the CGI clown face on there because that makes a difference, right? And then we can just end it with him being a little whiny bitch puddle. Oh my God, that movie. But... I've said this before, there are only two movie characters in all of movie history that have ever followed me into my nightmares. One of them is Zelda from Pet Sematary, which is not on this list because I don't feel like she's iconic enough, only in that one movie. And then you have Pennywise, the original Tim Curry Pennywise, which some people nowadays laugh at, but back in the 90s when I was a little kid, that
nigga had motherfuckers scared though. I ain't gonna do it. That motherfucker had motherfuckers scared of clowns for the longest. So I can't hear that too much. Because motherfuckers, there's a lot of people growing up never scared of clowns.
shit was terrifying. And so I genuinely think that Pennywise at his best is among one of the most effective and iconic horror movie characters of all time. It's just a shame that twice now, and even in the book to some degree, they cannot figure out a way to stick the landing with this character. Otherwise, that would be a shoo-in for iconic. Now, we're taking a wrong turn, and we're going to have the Hillbilly Family from the Wrong Turn franchise, and you fuckers are going right into rejects.
Fuck. Please don't do that. Why would you throw them in the rejects, bro? These niggas is with the shit. These three motherfuckers right here, they kill you so fucking scandalous. Y'all niggas gotta go look. They got multiple of them. Multiple movies. That just doing niggas foul. And nobody makes it out. Some people make it out, but a lot of times nobody make it out though. Them niggas is with the smoke.
The Wrong Turn franchise.
I'll put in like Bloody Good. I put it in Bloody Good if I was him. He might need a rewatch. He gotta rewatch all them motherfuckers again. Them motherfuckers is good.
Is to this date the worst movie franchise that I have covered in a review series. I like the first movie good enough. It's a solid 3-star riff on Texas Chainsaw type movies. And I think that the remake is actually pretty damn good as well. To hell with all you woke turn people. But with the exception of those two movies, all of the sequels of the original Wrong Turn movie are all pretty god-awful. The origin one is tolerable enough, but the other ones just get progressively worse and mean-spirited and gross and, these...
They get dark, nigga. They start doing some crazy-ass shit. That's just what it is. You ain't got the stomach for that part. That's just what it was. But, tell me, check that shit out, though. Because what he's saying, he's describing like that them niggas do some fucked up shit.
Characters are terrible. They're not really memorable or iconic enough to even have me remember their name. There's nothing really stand out about the look of them or a signature kill or signature weapons or anything. There's just not much of anything that I appreciate about these.
There's a scene they bury somebody and they had their head sticking. They buried somebody in the ground and they only had their head sticking out. And them motherfuckers came with a motherfucking, one one of them weed whacker things, but the ones you drive though. So the ones that's spinning, nigga. That motherfucking shit went over that nigga's head. So man, I was sick.
Characters outside of that first movie that utilizes them pretty well. So without a doubt, they are going in the rejects.
Agnes, it's me, Billy.
We've got Billy from Black Christmas, and of course, you have the Black Christmas, was it 2004, 2006 remake, which is a totally different interpretation of the character. We have the fan film It's Me, Billy by my buddy Dave McCrae that continues the original, and coming soon, It's Me, Billy Chapter 2, which I hope is going to be awesome. So Billy, for me, I'm going to put in memorable enough. And the only reason why he is there is because he is one of those very minimalist villains that... It's not necessarily Billy that stands out about the original Black Christmas, which I genuinely think is one of the greatest horror movies of all time. One of the most underappreciated slasher films of all time. The phone calls, the sound design, the atmosphere, the tension. It's all of the technical filmmaking and the building of dread that is in that original Black Christmas that makes it iconic. While Billy is certainly an interesting enough character to build upon, and I'm curious to see what Dave and Bruce are going to do in kind of bringing that home with It's Me, Billy 2. But if we're only going to count the actual movie releases that go into theaters, you have one outstanding version of Billy where he is very minimalist in the movie. You have one very balls out, wacky, weird version in the Black Xmas.
This version is the version I fuck with. I fuck with this version, Wayne. They was tripping. They was tripping on this nigga in the house. They was doing too fucking much. That nigga went to prison, nigga. He did some shit. But he eating somebody's skin on that motherfucker. I ain't gonna say whose skin if you ain't seen that shit. But nigga, he eating somebody's skin in that motherfucker. And he made the motherfuckers out of gingerbread cookie shapes. Shit, smooth.
Remake, and then I don't even think the character is even referenced in the 2019 piece of shit. So, yeah. This is not a reflection on the original Black Christmas movie. Absolutely check that out. But I'm sticking Billy in memorable enough. Helen, be my victim. We have Candyman. And Candyman for me is going right up into killer. And that is a testament to how incredible the original Candyman movie is. And despite being very heavy-handed, how good I genuinely think the modern reboot was from a year or two ago. The two movies in the middle, the Day of the Dead and Farewell to the Flesh, are pretty trash. I mean, that they're bad enough to where I almost feel like it's justified putting Candyman in Bloody Good. But as far as the iconic nature of a signature villain, you don't get much better than Candyman. I mean, he's got an iconic look. He has a lore to him that is really tragic and dark and fucked up. He's got the signature...
And his name still ring till today like a motherfucker. Like, don't say his name type shit. Even without that new movie, motherfuckers was saying, don't say that nigga's name. And still doing the fucking game in the mirror.
Weapon of the hook that is put into his severed hand. His voice with Tony Todd is absolutely iconic. You get the bees. I mean, there's so much about Candyman that is just such a rich character that even if you have never seen the Candyman movies, you know who Candyman is, and you know all those different aspects to the character because he penetrated pop culture so heavily in the 90s, where aside from Ghostface, no other horror characters penetrated pop culture. So, Candyman...
Stop. Don't say that, because there's more people weighing up there. Most deaf. And you gonna bring his name up, too. A couple of them.
Showing my respect, throwing him in killer. Boy, we have Tall Man. Oh, man. This is the one that I think people are going to get debated on the most. But I am throwing Tall Man straight up into iconic. And again, this is a love or hate franchise, and by attachment, a love or hate character. But Phantasm 1 and Phantasm 2 are among my favorite horror films, favorite movies of all time. And even though the third film is extremely campy and silly, the fourth film, while I think is very creative, it doesn't work very well as a standalone movie as much as it does as like a companion piece for established fans. And Phantasm Ravager is an absolute garbage final film for this franchise. That still is not enough for me not to consider the Tall Man iconic. For all of the pretty much same reasons that I put Candyman and Killer, but Tall Man has just had much more of an impact on me in my life, where you have this very iconic presence of a character and performance by Angus Scrimm, the voice, the one-liners like boy, or you think when you die you go to heaven, you come to us. All of those things that just stand out so much about the character, the spheres, the dwarfs. I mean, the way that he interacts with these characters throughout this franchise and just comes in and out of those dimension forks, and you never quite get a read on who.
Bro, if you don't just go grab a 4-5 and get the busting at this nigga, who the fuck is gonna be scared of that nigga over Candyman? What the fuck? Shoot them orbs, nigga. Shoot that nigga. Ain't no way you put that shit as iconic. I gotta watch that movie.
Or why the hell this character is. All of those things are why I personally love the Tall Man. But I understand if all those reasons are why you do not like the Tall Man or the Phantasm movies whatsoever. Another film that I genuinely think could benefit greatly from a modern remake from somebody who loves the original and can do something really cool and unique with it, and maybe ground it a bit more. Maybe don't have it be quite as cerebral and weird and nondescript. But nonetheless, I adore the Tall Man, and he is my first entry in the iconic tier. And now we have Hannibal Lecter, and we have had four different.
The Tall Man would have got his ass whooped by Hannibal. Do your fucking homework. Put them two together. What the hell? This nigga eating brains and shit. Who eating brains, bro? Like, why the nigga alive?
Interpretations of this character. We had Brian Cox in Manhunter, of course, the most iconic being Anthony Hopkins. And then we also had Mads Mikkelsen, which I actually think arguably might be the best version of the character. I get a little bit of flack for saying that, but he is awesome as Hannibal. And then I forget the guy's name. He just passed away not too long ago, but the one who played the origin version of him in Hannibal Rising. Based off of a series of novels as well, if you didn't know that. Most people do. But I'm sticking Hannibal up there in Killer. One of the most interesting villains of all.
I'll put him in iconic because ain't nobody really too much like that nigga that I seen. That nigga was doing shit. He was just doing shit. Smart ass motherfucker. He's like some doctor or some shit. Just doing all types of shit. Evil motherfucker though. Iconic for me.
All time, because he's always kind of a companion piece in the movies. He's never quite the focus. He's never quite the star. And yet he always leaves the biggest impact. You think about The Silence of the Lambs. I think Anthony Hopkins has like 10 minutes of screen time in that movie. And yet he is the most memorable and iconic part of that barn.
Maybe I'm thinking of Silence of the Lambs. That shit should be 1 and 2 put together because he act dead on each other in both of them.
None. And so there's many different interpretations of this character. All of them, with the exception of Hannibal Rising, in my opinion, are all pretty unique and impactful in their own ways. Hannibal, the series, one of the best TV series ever. And please, TV gods,
Fucking pigs ate that nigga face. Bro, the thing is, I don't know. The shit was kind of weird, but he got the dude to cut his own face off with the glass and some old shit. Then bro, gotta see that shit. Good ass movie though.
Netflix gods, whoever the hell has the money, buy this shit and give us a season 4 based off of The Silence of the Lambs. I know there's rights issues, but battle through that shit. Stranger things have happened. Let us have it. Hannibal, awesome. Going in Killer. My boy, Freddy Krueger. Look, I mean, is it going to be any surprise whatsoever that Freddy is going straight up to iconic? Look, objectively, doesn't have the strongest slate of movies. I can agree with that. I can appreciate that.
He got a TV show. Nigga, he got a TV show and movies. What do you mean?
Truth, even as a massive Nightmare on Elm Street fan. About half of the franchise I could completely leave, never watch again, and I would be fine. But Freddy Krueger, much like the other character I have in Iconic and a few of the ones that I have in Killer, has made some of the biggest impact in horror and in pop culture of all time, and will probably go down by the end of life as we know it as one of the most iconic movie characters of all time.
Probably is going down with the main character, bro, because they can't find nobody that's just like him. Nobody that looks exactly like him. Nobody, the voice, none of that shit. Just let it go down with him. Like, R.I.P. him. For real. Because, nigga, y'all fucking up his legacy with this new shit.
Performance by Robert Englund is synonymous with the character, whether you're talking about the dark, scary Freddy or the more comedic, campy Freddy, which I'm not as much of a fan of, but it has its appeal. I think that the themes of nightmares and fear and penetrating into somebody's psyche, he is one of, if not the best horror villains that have captured that on screen. You have a character that is very dark and creepy and has unlimited power and has a bit of a device there where you can't escape him. There's no running away from Freddy. You can't move. You can't change your name. You can't dye your hair and move out of state. None of that. As long as you eventually fall asleep, which everybody eventually will, especially the more you struggle, you're going to fall victim to him, and that is terrifying. And then you also have some of the best iconic one-liners of all time. Some of them get pretty silly as the franchise goes on, but still, you have a character that is equally known as being one of the most terrifying villains of all time and one of the most entertaining and campy one-liner fueled characters of all time. And there's not many I can say that for, except for my other favorite. Now we have Damien from the Omen series, and I'm going to stick Damien in memorable enough. I adore the original Omen from the 70s. That is probably my favorite horror film from the 70s, and there's some heavy hitters in that era. I think that he is a really creepy concept, especially as a parent, when you think of the ultimate evil and something that is literally going to bring humanity to its knees and end life as we know it. And it's in the face of the child that you love and have raised for years. That is possibly the most terrifying concept up on this board right now, because what do you do at that point? And how do you bring yourself to believe that enough to take that, to strike that person down? That enough right there is enough to stick him up in the top 3 tiers. I still think Damien Omen 2 is a pretty entertaining movie. It's a little bit more of a Final Destination take on the character, to where he's a little more in the know of what's going on and a lot more of an evil little shit versus a cute little kid that just has a really dark upbringing. Not a fan of Sam Neill's version.
My kid got 666 in his head. We going straight to church. Nigga, what is up with you?
Version whatsoever, as much as I love Sam Neill, and the remake, not a fan of that one either. So that's what really holds back Damien from getting up at least into Bloody Good, is just the quality of his films as they have gone on. But the original Omen especially, absolute icon.
Are you ready?
Now we have
Shit, that's like The Orphan and what, Case 38, 48, one of those two, Case 38. Them motherfuckers. One of the girl was a motherfucking demon, but she was an orphan though. But she scared everybody. She had a demon inside of her. And she had to get killed. Motherfucker was not trying to do that shit. Gotta go see those. I might have to rewatch that Case one. Case 38.
Ghostface, and this is a tricky one because Scream and the image of Ghostface, the costume, undoubtedly is iconic. There is no debate on that whatsoever. However, Ghostface is the only character up here, I believe, that is multiple characters, multiple identities, different people, different motivations, different personalities, different quality of executions. And so that holds the character back a bit for me. When you say Ghostface, it's like, well, which one are you talking about? One of the good ones, like Billy and Stu, or one of the shitty ones? And for me, that is going to stick Ghostface in Bloody Good. Because, again, Scream, that...
Too many people playing as them. You can't really get locked in with fucking Stephanie, Billy, Jeffrey, and fucking David. Fucking playing that screen, Ghostface. You can't do that. But then it's like, nigga, what the fuck is these niggas on this time?
Franchise at this point, especially after the Chucky franchises has had a few slips here and there, I think is, along with Evil Dead, arguably the most consistent quality as far as horror franchise goes. And I really enjoy all of the movies to some extent. I don't think there was a bad movie in the bunch, but there is definitely some bad Ghostface, and there is some sillier interpretations of the character. There is some very disappointing unmaskings and very predictable unmaskings. I think that there are more mediocre to unmemorable reveals of Ghostface than there are awesome and iconic ones. So, gonna scale him back just a tad, even though I love him, and he's going in bloody good. See, I did both. I appealed to everybody, the hardcore fans and the posters. Jason Voorhees, baby. Mama's boy himself. We're going to stick him in Killer. We'll just go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off now. He's not iconic enough for me personally. He is an icon of horror. He is on the Mount Rushmore of horror villains, but of the...
Why? Why wouldn't you put him in iconic? He just beat Jeepers Creepers' ass.
Major ones that most people acknowledge and talk about, he's probably my least favorite, just because of the execution of the character and the movies has been pretty spotty and inconsistent for my taste. And I'm not somebody who grew up with the Friday the 13th movies. I have no nostalgia for any of those movies. I was not an established fan. I watched them much later in life, and because of that, I don't necessarily have the love for them that some people do.
Iconic, 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 iconic. Iconic, my boy. Iconic. Iconic. I wanted Jeepers Creepers to be iconic too until he got his ass whooped. Again. Fuck.
CP. But you have the Ted White version of Jason, you have the Richard Brooker version of Jason, you have the Derek Mears version of Jason, that I think all three of those are absolute top tier versions. I'm not as big of a fan of the Kane Hodder era, especially the movies, and from there it just kind of gets bad after you get out of Kane Hodder territory. And really it's more so about the movies. Like, Jason's cool, the hockey mask is iconic, he's got a ton of kills, he's got some really creative kills, but he's never been a character that has scared me or intimidated me, aside from Derek Mears. That I wouldn't want that guy.
So a nigga with some orbs flying and fucking around, nigga, is a nigga that's like scaring you. White nigga in a suit, orbs. Think about that, my boy. You gotta think about that one. Maybe grandma probably put you on that other movie or something. I don't know, but nigga, Jason is most definitely iconic. How the fuck he got more bodies than the tall man, for sure. He got more bodies than the tall man.
Chasing me. And that's really what holds it back to Killer for me. Like, for iconic, it's somebody that has meant a lot to me personally. And Jason just hasn't quite gotten there. For as awesome as he is, and as much as I love certain aspects of him. So, CP, for this alone, I'm sure he's going to do a rebuttal video or a reaction video or a 3-hour live stream or something. So stay tuned for that. And now we have Jigsaw.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Jigsaw, for me, I'm going to put in memorable enough. Like, this is one of those we're going to get into this again with like Pinhead, to where he is the iconic villain of a franchise, but he's barely present. He's not really the focus ever, even in the movies where he is one of the main figureheads going on and he's actually alive in, which is less than half of this franchise, oddly enough. He's never really much of a focus. He's never really a big presence. What's interesting about Jigsaw is while flawed completely, his kind of...
He has a big presence in that movie. They're fucking hunting him down the whole time until he's dead. Even after, his presence is still felt. So you can't really say too much about him, his presence. He really didn't need to be there because his presence was felt through his work.
complex that he's not actually a killer and he hasn't done anything wrong and he's not at fault for anything that has gone on because these victims make the choices. And I think he's absolutely full of shit. I think he's an absolute psychopath, but there's at least an interesting thing there where he's the only villain on this list that doesn't consider himself a villain or a killer whatsoever. Tobin Bell, iconic performance for sure for the little bit that we see of him, to the point where that
If you got put into it, would you make it out? Would he even want to put you in a game for you to make it out? That'd be some shit. Y'all gotta watch it if y'all ain't seen that shit either. The motherfucker gotta do something with acid, I gotta do it real quick. And do something with pulling something out of my eye, gotta do it real quick. Cause that shit is serious.
that's the only option they have left to reboot this thing now with Saw X is, well, just put Tobin Bell back in it and make it a fucking prequel to the second movie or whatever. Just do that. Put him back in it. And he's got a cool look. He does with the robe, and especially when you have the Billy puppet and everything with him. Like, he's got some cool style to him. So, memorable enough. Basically the definition of memorable enough. Now we...
I want to say memorable, though. I'd say, like, bloody good for sure. Not saying it's ranked down, but I'd say bloody good because that motherfucker is a little gory. It's gorier than just killer.
We have Leatherface, and I don't know if this is going to be a hot take or not, but Leatherface is only getting up to bloody good for me, and I actually think I'm being generous by doing that. Now, you have the original version of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you have the remake, as well as Texas Chainsaw Massacre the beginning, that I think are the best versions of these characters, the best on-screen performances, the best look of these characters, the best utilization of what is creepy and unsettling about this character. But every other interpretation of Leatherface for me is either okay or god-awful. I mean, even though I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, that is an absolute cartoon version of Leatherface. Leatherface from, well, Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, not memorable at all. One of the worst looks of the character in my mind. Do we need to even acknowledge The Next Generation and what the fuck that was? And even the later movies, when you get into Texas Chainsaw 3D, that was an absolute miss. And the remake, or not the remake, excuse me, the Netflix reboot, the Legacy sequel, third attempt, that, I mean, I like the fact that he's a hulking, gigantic, brooding figure that is just massive, but again, not really a memorable take on the character. So while I think Leatherface at his best is iconic, at his worst, he's an embarrassment. At his worst, he's extremely off-putting, and we have gotten more versions of that than the iconic versions. Now we have the Miner from My Bloody Valentine, Harry Warden himself. We've had two versions of this movie. I don't believe there's been anything else. There's the original, and then there's the 3D remake, which I actually prefer. I don't know if that's a very hot take or not, but slash and a miss. Slash and a miss for me. The character has a cool enough look to stand out from all of the other kind of more generic masked killers that we have had in slasher history, but
somebody walking around with a pickaxe just doesn't grab your attention too much. It's kind of like the weapons. It's the weapons that pull the people in. Like the monsters or whoever the killer is got to have a reputable weapon in order for me to really fuck with it. I don't know. If that's your take, let me know.
I am not a fan of the original My Bloody Valentine whatsoever. A couple of really cool kills, but I don't like the movie. I don't necessarily like the reveal of who the minor killer is, nor the motivation or the explanation behind it. And while My Bloody Valentine 3D is a lot of fun that I do prefer, it's still a pretty big schlock fest. And you know, Jensen Ackles, I love you. You're almost enough for me to put it in memorable enough just because you're there. But yeah, the minor character, I almost forgot to even include that character when I was gathering these characters for this list, if that says anything. So, slash and a miss with that big-ass pickaxe. I want me gold. A friend with weed is a friend indeed, but a friend with gold is the best, I'm told. We have the
Leprechaun for sure. Leprechaun back in the hood is a go. It's a go. I don't know about y'all, but that one's iconic to me. Not all of them is iconic, but nigga, just that one, Leprechaun Back to the Hood, that movie is funny as fuck. If you ain't seen that shit, that nigga goes and get the bone, he smokes, he gets a weed, smokes, he get knocked in the fridge, start making a sandwich. That nigga is goofy. That nigga is retarded.
Leprechaun.
I take that back. That nigga stupid. That nigga dumb. That nigga dumb. He funny as fuck.
This one's tough. This one's tough. I'm going to put the Leprechaun in memorable enough. And I think I'm being pretty generous with that as well. I almost feel more comfortable putting Slash in a miss, but I can't help but love Warwick Davis. I can't help but love the things that he brings to that character. Now, the version that we got in Leprechaun Origins, that's not even worth acknowledging. That was like a fucking Wendigo or something. I don't know what that was. The guy that took over for Leprechaun Origins, or not Leprechaun Origins, the one after that, Leprechaun Returns, did a pretty good job at kind of mimicking the Warwick Davis Leprechaun, I gotta be honest. But it's just the quality of the movies that hold this character back significantly. They're all pretty rough. That's in the running for worst franchise that I have reviewed, but Wrong Turn absolutely takes that shit-colored trophy. So I used to love these movies when I was a kid. I used to rent them constantly from Family Video. I would just kind of cycle through them.
You can't shit on the old school movies, man. That's just the quality it was. It's the storyline you really gotta stick with. What was going on? You gotta stick with the storyline. You gotta enjoy what you're seeing too.
I loved the original for the long time. I thought 3 was probably the best for the longest time. And, you know, as an adult, I got a good bit of fun from Leprechaun Returns. I thought that was actually a pretty solid little legacy sequel that nobody asked for. So, because of some nostalgia, because of some of the massive amount of joy that this character brought to me as a kid, and because even as an adult, I can still watch and appreciate those 3 that I named, 1, 3, and Returns, he's fun enough for me to stick there in the middle and feel somewhat confident about it. Oh, Mikey. Oh, Mikey. No matter where I put this motherfucker, I'm going to get heat. Oh, look, I just got to pull off the Band-Aid. I'm just kidding. Michael Myers is iconic. Come on now. Did you really think I was going to pull that shit?
Nigga, you good. You almost got me, you motherfucker.
Michael Myers. Despite the fact that some of his followers can absolutely eat a dick in my mind, Michael Myers is one of those characters that has given a gigantic kick in the ass to the slash.
We got the same birthday, man. I already said this. Y'all niggas need to bring this nigga back. Bring him back.
Genre at least twice at this point. The original film by John Carpenter, albeit a little overrated in my mind, is honestly one of the best horror films ever made. One of the most iconic ones, one of the most important ones for sure. Even though it steals a little thunder from the original Black Christmas, it was a very, very important monumental film that kicked off the 80s slasher genre. As well as kind of reignited it here in the 2020s with Halloween 20.
I ain't gonna dub though. If you put Michael Myers up there though, you gotta put Jason up there with it. Cause Jason was up there rocking the motherfuckers out too. It was like after you seen a Jason movie, nigga, or a Michael Myers movie, you gotta go see a Jason movie. Got to.
2018. So, iconic look, one of the most simplistic looks, but when done well, less than half of the time in the franchise, it is one of the most iconic looks. And here recently, Mikey actually passed Jason Voorhees as having the most kills for any slasher villain. And there's also a lot of creativity in his kills for the most part. And when they execute the character to his best, like in the first 2 Halloweens, to a degree in Halloween 4, despite that god-awful mask, and not really talking about the quality of that trilogy, but for the most part in the new Halloween reboot trilogy, he's a very intimidating, creepy, and powerful horror villain. And
even when he went to the Psycho Ward, nigga, what you mean? That little nigga was turned up, showing how he grew up, how he did all that shit, how they treated him. Nigga, what are you talking about? Like, come on, bro. Michael Myers is with the smoke. That nigga's been turning up forever.
And, you know, there's a reason why I think it's safe to say that most slasher fans out there have Michael Myers as their top dog, as their number one. And while he's not mine, I understand that. So Michael Myers, gotta love him. Can't blame him for his crazy following. He's going up in iconic. My boy, my baby boy, we got Chucky, and look, iconic. If you guys have followed me for any determined amount of time,
I agree with Chucky being iconic, for sure. Juan de Bella, all that shit, yeah.
like, you know that I love Freddy and I love Chucky. Those are my top two. I got a Chucky doll right there, for Christ's sake. Can you even see it? Is he obscured? He's probably obscured. I got one right there. I have two different Funko Pops over here to the right of me. I adore this character. And to a degree where you ask me tomorrow, and you know, him and Freddy Krueger are basically neck at neck, and depending on my mood, I can tell you one is better than the other. But Chucky is the reason why I am a horror fan. It was the first horror film I ever watched in Child's Play 3. He has continued to be one of my biggest sources of bloody joy going on all the way into my 30s. And despite the fact that 2 of his movies and 1 season of his TV show I think is pretty terrible, there has been a lot more just genuinely great entries in what this character has brought. I love his personality. I love how dark and twisted and fucked up he is while being very hilarious with his one-liners. Significantly better with his one-liners than Freddy, I think, as far as just averages go. And I love the look of the doll in most of the movies. The scarred look is my favorite from Bride and even Seed. And you have the voice acting by Brad Dourif that, with the exception of Cult of Chucky, that I felt with the writing was just a little weak, is flat out iconic every single time he steps into the recording booth. I just love this character. It's genuinely one of the most important movie characters in the world to me. And even if the next 4 seasons of the Chucky TV series is absolutely not for me, nothing's going to kick Chucky out of iconic. He is there to stay. And now we have
It's not for me. The show's not for me. The Chucky for sure. He's with the smoke. Don't let the show overcloud Chucky. Chucky's with that smoke. Chucky's with that smoke for sure.
Norman Bates, and one of the most criminally overlooked horror icons of all time. Norman Bates is absolutely iconic. Not only is the original Psycho one of the most important horror films and slasher films of all time, but Psycho 2, which I actually prefer, that's my favorite, is one of the best horror sequels ever made. And not enough people have seen it or give it enough credit for being that. For following up an Alfred Hitchcock film 20 years later and giving it to a brand new filmmaker that isn't Alfred Hitchcock, like, the writing on the wall for that to be a dog shit movie. If somebody announced something like that today, the internet would...
That was the Norman Bates movie, that old ass movie, the one with the and the mom screaming, or somebody screaming in a fucking shower. That was him.
Explode with a bunch of naysayers, and I would be one of the loudest voices. Psycho 2 is incredible. Psycho 3, while not nearly as good as the first 2, is still very entertaining. And even Psycho 4, which is a made-for-TV movie and certainly is not the best, is actually, by slasher standards, a pretty decent little ending to this character. And the whole 4-movie arc that Norman Bates goes through as a character, I think, is one of the best and most complete character arcs for a villain that we have ever had. Now, we're not going to talk about Vince Vaughn.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was Norman Bates. I didn't know that shit. That's cold. They did a whole bunch of separate shit. And then they put it into it. Okay, that's hard. That's hard.
Like, Vince Vaughn, that whole movie, it was an experiment. I don't even know why we continue to talk about it. It's not really worth talking about. But even if we are going to talk about it, that's not enough of a knock against the character or the franchise to pull him out of iconic. So if you have ever put Norman Bates under the folder of not important enough to acknowledge, or if you have been one of those people that assume that the other Psycho movies are not worth checking out, please do yourself a favor and treat yourself and at least watch Psycho 2. And if that movie doesn't sell you, fair enough. But if it does, I think you'll still enjoy.
Are they still... I wonder if they're using the same house. The house in the hotel. For the Norman Bates. The new ones. That might be an Easter egg. Gotta double check on that.
Psycho 3 and Psycho 4 to a certain degree. And then you have the Bates Motel show. And again, a very different interpretation of the character, much more modern and younger, but what an outstanding performance. What a really shockingly good TV series that was. And how great of a job they did at taking the classic Psycho elements and modernizing them in the way that doesn't bastardize the original. So check out that series too if you have not. That was absolutely a surprise. But Norman Bates, straight up there to the top, baby. Respect, bitch. Now we have Esther from the Orphan movies, and I'm going to stick Esther in Bloody Good, because the two movies are both bloody good. Now, the first movie did get ruined for me a little bit. I didn't quite have that impactful holy shit moment that everybody else did, because unfortunately the ending was spoiled for me before I saw it. But even knowing where the movie was heading and having that surprise ruined for me, it's still a pretty awesome movie, a very violent movie, and it's a lot more dark and unforgiving than you would expect a movie like that to be. And just last year, we had Orphan First Kill that was coming out. I was one of the biggest naysayers in the world. I was like, is it really going to work when you have Isabel Furman coming back and she's like in her 30s now? Is she going to be able to pull off this character effectively, even just on a physical way, now that she's an adult and not a little girl anymore? Is there any story worth telling? Is this just going to be 90 minutes of that quick little origin that we were told about the dad that she was in love with and burned the house down? Like, that's going to suck. And shame on me, because Orphan First Kill was one of my favorite horror films of last year. Pulled a gigantic rug out from underneath me whenever you got about halfway into it, and they actually pull a twist reveal in that, and I was like, oh, that was awesome. And I expect I would have had that same reaction in the first film. But yeah, Esther, for a little girl character, is wicked as hell. Love both of those movies.
But she's not a little girl, though. So be mindful of that. She's a bitch acting as a little girl, so she can kill the wife off, so she can take over the house and be with the husband. That shit is crazy as hell. But she's portraying as a little girl before she can do it, and then she tries to tell the husband, like, hell nah, nigga. And then if it don't work out, she killing everything.
And while I don't know if it's necessarily worth ever revisiting the character, if we get a third movie that's on par with those first two, I might have to stick her up in Iconic. She's that cool.
Yeah.
Did you just drop an F-bomb?
I'm gonna just leave it at that, chat, man. If there's any more videos, anything y'all want to see, man, if y'all fucking with y'all seeing, let me know. Like, subscribe. I'm out of here.